Hey guys, Gabe here with another fragrance review. Now, we are going to be reviewing a fragrance that's very similar to, well, SAUVAGE ELIXIR by Dior. Now, as you guys probably know, this is not a cheap fragrance by any means. You all know that this performance on this fragrance is tremendously incredible. You get, even if you take a shower, you'll still smell it. Now, I bet you guys already know what this is going. It is going to be a review of Assad by, nope, not Assad by Lattafa. Although I will talk about that in a little bit. But we're going to be, I've actually reviewed this fragrance a long time, quite a while ago. I think a whole year ago already. We're reviewing Art du Parfum by Armaf. So let's get my intro in and let's get going. And we're going to explain why this is the most underrated SAUVAGE ELIXIR clone in the community. So let's get my intro in and let's get this rolling.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning. Rise and reign. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, ravens soar over new frontiers. Songs and sagas of a fate determined, shields and spears. Vows of favor or the thrill of plunder, pulled together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, bound within. Oh, 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 the echoes of eternity. Oh, 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 Valhalla calling me. Oh, 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 to love the strings of destiny. Oh, 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 Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me.
So, if you're always looking for a SAUVAGE ELIXIR clone, the first one that'll ever pop up is Assad by Lattafa. Now, don't get me wrong, that is a great alternative to this fragrance. And I think it's great. I don't have a bottle on me currently, but I have borrowed a bottle on a vacation one time. It worked very well. I got quite a bit of compliments off of it. However, as you probably know, Assad by Lattafa is very, very popular. And I'll talk about that after we get the review of this fragrance going. So, Art du Parfum is a fragrance by Armaf. And they even have a women's version that's like, I think it's like the same thing, but I think the name is different. This is like red, and but this one is black. And then, so the presentation, I love this bottle. It's tall. It it feels like leather or something. Down the back, it says Armaf engraved in there. It says Armaf right there, and Armaf right there, and up here it says Artisanal Perfume Series at the top. Then the cap is really cool, and it's magnetic. And the atomizer on this fragrance is pretty good as well. So, not pressurized like the Dior is, but it's no big deal. So, the smell right off the bat. Now, actually, I'll spray tiny spray on my hand of SAUVAGE ELIXIR. Now, I'll let these dry down. Now, obviously, SAUVAGE ELIXIR smells more high quality than this one does. This one is more of a smoky type of smell than the SAUVAGE ELIXIR is. Which I think is maybe what turns people off when they get this one. They say, it smells like SAUVAGE ELIXIR, but it smells a little bit different. Has a different note in it that I can't really put my finger on. I can see why. It is more of a smoke, like a dark smoky turn of SAUVAGE ELIXIR. Now, hold on. Once they dry down a little bit, this one still smells normal. This one still smells more smoky than the Dior is. But I will tell you right now that this fragrance right here is not to sleep on. This fragrance is honestly a more it's kind of hard to explain. So say you like if you like SAUVAGE ELIXIR, but you wanted a more of a darker or more smoky turn, this is the way to go for sure. Now, I have the Dior on my right hand, and I have the Armaf on my left. They smell very, very close. And if I do this together, I can't really hardly tell a difference. This is, I think it was, I don't know if it was intended to be a Sauvage Elixir clone. It just happens to be very close. Now, the reason I was saying about why not to sleep on this is because you know that Lattafa's Assad is a very, very, very popular fragrance from that brand. It might even be like their most popular fragrance of all. I'm probably wrong on that, but my favorite Lattafa fragrance, you know, guys, my favorite one is Kayad Al Fursan. Kayad Al Fursan is a pineapple-based fragrance, and I don't have anything on, so just ignore me. Did get a couple squirts of that because I love that stuff. But Assad is a very, very popular fragrance from the company. It may be their most popular seller. And actually, let me do something real quick. Okay, so what I was trying to do is say how I'm comparing Art de Parfum and Assad. That's why I've grabbed Oxford Blue and 1981 Los Angeles. So these are both, a lot of people compare it to Versace Eros. Now, you know how this one is more of a mintier fragrance than Versace Eros, and this is more of a vanilla-based fragrance. So I've done individual reviews on both of these. This is a more vanilla fragrance than Versace Eros, and this is more of a mint version of Versace Eros. That's kind of the same thing with these. This is a more smoky version of Sauvage Elixir, and Assad is a more of a different turn than this one is. And so that's what I'm saying is this is one not to sleep on, because that's why I did a review. That's why I did an original review on this one. That's why that fragrance review is one of my more popular reviews, because when people look at it, they don't see anybody really review it, because I don't hear anybody talk about it. You hear people talking about Lattafa Assad all the time, but you don't hear anybody talking about this stuff, this is one not to sleep on, because this is probably one of the best Sauvage Elixir alternatives out there, at least that I know of. And Sauvage Elixir can be quite expensive, so this is the most expensive in the Sauvage line. They just came out with a 5-ounce, so I'm going to tell you the sizes. So they just got a 5-ounce bottle in. So this 2-ounce bottle retails, I paid about $155 for this bottle. And then the 3.4 ounce, that one is about $213 from when I saw it. And then the 5-ounce bottle is $314, I think is what it was. So around the $300 range for a 5-ounce bottle of this. So that is not cheap. That is niche price range. Hell, even this $155, this is just about to the niche price range. So not cheap at all, especially since it's still designer. But the main reason is because the performance on this one is so strong. The performance is beyond tremendous. Even if you take a shower, you'll still smell this one. It doesn't matter when you spray it, you'll still smell it. So yes, it could be very expensive, but if you don't have the kind of money for it, you could. I'm still saying Lattafa Assad is still a great fragrance. I don't dislike it at all. I'm not flexing on it at all. I think it's a great fragrance, and I understand why it gets all the hype, because it's a great alternative to this. But I'm just saying this one is very underrated and shouldn't be slept on. I get about 11 hours performance with this one, and one time I actually wore this one out, and the people at Macy's said I smelled like I was wearing Sauvage Elixir, because it smells very similar to it. The same DNA, just a little bit smokier. So don't sleep on this stuff. Very underrated stuff. It's awesome. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my re-review of Art de Parfum by Armaf. Don't sleep on this one. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this fragrance review, and happy early Independence Day. See you guys later. Peace out. Goodbye.